Something I've been thinking about is, what is luxury? And this is something that has changed a lot over the last 20 to 30 years. As conglomerates have taken over a lot of storied names, the tension between making money and making something truly artisanal and beautiful and crafted with care, these two dichotomies have never been so at odds. There is this stress to maximize profits and see line go up for shareholders, while also providing something exquisite. And I think, and this is just me speculating, but I think a lot of consumers are beginning to believe that companies and conglomerates are prioritizing profit margins over quality products. And I don't want to sound horribly snobby. I think there's a time and a place for affordable things. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we're talking about real money, thousands and thousands of dollars, pounds, whatever your currency, there should be a level of attention to detail and a very good product being delivered. So today I want to talk about where the best value luxury is and what brands are delivering a lot for the price. This isn't to say these are going to be cheap or affordable brands, but places that I believe are delivering in line with the price and offering good value. Honestly, Habring is a brand that kinda captures exactly what luxury used to be. Small batch, truly artisan, and there's an energy to these pieces that a giant conglomerate just can't replicate. The Austrian independent is run by the husband and wife team of Maria and Richard Habring, and this watch, the Habring Doppel 38 split seconds, particularly plays to the skill set of Richard as he began his career at IWC under Gunter Blumlein and played a major role in developing the double chronograph. The Doppel 38 has this really unique, sporty, playful look to it, but still smart and elevated. At 11 millimeters thick, this will easily slip under a dress cuff, and of course has a split-second chronograph functionality. The movement was conceived and assembled in-house using self-made parts or sourced by local suppliers, and is decorated with brushing, perlage, and beveling. The craftsmanship is fantastic and retails for €9,250, which is that's like an unheard of price for this level of watchmaking, complication type, the movement, and level of finishing. Even if this specific model doesn't work for you, I highly recommend going through their website. I think Habring is under talked about and delivering true luxury. On to something a bit more mainstream now, the Glashutte Original SeaQ. This is available in a 43mm variation, but for our purposes we are going to use the 39.5mm. So I'm not going to say this is cheap. These retail for £9,400, but when compared to the competition, for example the Rolex Submariner date, the Glashutte is about the same price, cheaper if you ask for a discount at the authorized dealer, which they almost certainly will give you. And on top of that, it is arguably a better watch. The size, proportions, everything is better. The finishing is fantastic. It's something aesthetically different and a decorated movement with the manufacturer caliber 3911. I think the retail price is good value and the secondary prices are great value. Kudoke, in general, represents exceptional finishing. Every model displays meticulous hand finishing and attention to detail and quality. The specific watch I'd pick out for this one is the Kudoke 1 Salmon. To me, this is the essence of Kudoke. Minimal design, very clean, but somehow still feels almost industrial. But inside the watch is the brand's first manufacturer caliber, the Caliber 1, manual winding, great decoration, so German looking, and retails for just under £10,000. Now, once again, I'm not saying this is cheap. This has a similar price as the Rolex GMT Master 2, and this blows Rolex out of the water in the nicest way. I think about the bel Canto regularly, at least once a week. I think it's time that I put my money where my mouth is and actually buy one. In the world of watches, we love to talk about tool watches and usefulness and watches with a purpose. This is going to sound weird, but this is probably, the bel Canto is the most useful watch I've ever had into review. So Christopher Ward heavily modified their jump hour module to make it chime. So this bird spends the hour winding its tail. And then hourly strikes the gong, which makes a quite pleasing sound. I don't know, maybe it's just me and the nature of my work, but I easily lose track of time. I will know that I have a meeting at 11 a.m., but I'll start doing work. I'll start researching for a script, researching about a certain watch, or maybe I'll start B-rolling and get behind the camera. Then I won't check my watch again until it's too late. Having the hourly gong made me so much more aware of my day, the passage of time, and if you don't want it, that's okay too. You can easily disable it using the lower pusher. This was an incredibly big release for Christopher Ward. It was them pushing the envelope, doing something weird to one of their movements, and it's an incredibly mindful design, even down to the name. These tend to retail between £3,000 and £3,700 depending on variation. It's expensive, but I think there's a lot of value in there. If you want something that looks a bit more normal, I highly recommend looking into the 12. Once again, so much value is being packed in here. It's very hard to argue with these. You know what else is hard to argue with? Keeping your internet activity private, blocking ads and malware, and virtually placing yourself anywhere in the world to unlock more content. Yeah, that's awesome. And this is where Surfshark comes in. So Surfshark is a VPN, or a virtual private network, and they do a few different things. Let's break it down. Why am I talking like a 90s hip-hop dance instructor? Break it down. For one, they allow you to digitally place your computer anywhere in the world. This unlocks censored content in your region, keeping you connected to the world, and even offers price discrimination features. So if you're traveling, sometimes the prices of planes, hotels, rental cars can be cheaper if you change your location. I don't know why it works like that, but it does, and they have saved me a ton of money. And the second big thing that Surfshark does that I really value, I love this, they encrypt your online activity, keeping you safe and secure and private, even when using public Wi-Fi. Using Surfshark Alert, they let you know if there's a personal data leak, protecting things like your credit cards, or if your email address appears in breached online databases. I personally use Surfshark. I used them long before they were a video sponsor. I'll be using them long after, unless they want to keep partnering with me forever and ever, and I would love that so much. If you want to protect your devices, go click the link that is in my description, surfshark.com/gringa, and use code GRINGA at checkout to get an extra 4 months of Surfshark and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you so much to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. So when I'm looking for value, I'm usually looking into material, design, movement specs, finishing, reliability, water resistance. I just want to know the water resistance. It doesn't always have to be 100 meters or I don't buy it. And honestly, Seiko hits all those boxes. There are two watches that instantly come to mind for me. For something a bit dressier, the Presage, and for something sportier, the Seiko 5 GMT. This is one where I actually put my money where my mouth is, and I genuinely think this is one of the best value GMTs out there. This is £420 or about $500 USD. It is well made, great build quality, functionally awesome, and it feels great on the wrist. Now, NOMOS as a brand embodies luxury products at a value price. The level of craftsmanship and care that goes into their models is something else. So NOMOS began after the fall of the Berlin Wall and during the reunification of Germany. This was a time of optimism, but also resiliency, and that is what NOMOS and watchmaking in Glashutte represents to me. NOMOS is distinctly German, straightforward, very good watchmaking, detail-oriented, but still with a silly side or a bit of cheek, which I love. Bauhaus design language, movements made almost entirely in-house. I think it's 96% in-house, if I'm not mistaken. I honestly can't narrow it down to one NOMOS. I'm not going to narrow it down to one NOMOS. The entire brand is value for money luxury. It all depends on what style you like. I am very close to buying a Tetra, but I think that's a very me choice. Most people will prefer something like the Tanganta or something like the Club or Club Sport. Grand Seiko has such a soft spot in my heart. Japanese watchmaking in general, they feel like a challenger brand who rose to the occasion and now can have this quiet confidence about them. I love how different Grand Seiko feels. It's very clean lines, high levels of detail and precision, like in the Zaratsu polishing, and pushing the boundaries. I genuinely believe the spring drive movement is the most important movement innovation of the last 30 years. I'm sorry, coaxial lovers, it's still insanely cool. And not needing oil, theoretically, is insane. That's actually amazing. No, I almost talked myself out of it. I almost talked myself into coaxial, which is still very, very cool, but spring drive is still my favorite. Value luxury for me is the mechanical GMT. These retail for £4,550. They are so beautiful. It's a GMT you can wear dressed up and dressed down. The creamy dial is beautiful. I think this is distinctly them and beautifully executed. Let's talk about Tudor, baby. Obviously, Tudor was going to be on this list, but if I had to whittle it down to a single model, the Pelagus. The classic titanium 42mm variation. This retails for £4,410, which is a lot of money, but Tudor packs some specs in there. This is a professional grade diver where function is almost always prioritized, but the form is also very attractive. So titanium case and bracelet, hidden helium escape valve, 500 meters of water resistance, COSC certified manufacturer caliber with 70 hours of power reserve. And one of my favorite features is the bracelet and clasp with the extension system. Very clever design, unreasonably great watch. Moving on to IWC, and honestly, IWC has a lot of good value luxury. Even their perpetual calendars, £21,000 for this level of complication from a luxury brand name. It's really, really good. Or on the sporty side, something like this, the Mark 20 on bracelet, great design, now in not massive sizing. But if I had to narrow it down, I've been having a bit of a love affair with the Portofino. So for the best value in the lineup, the Portofino Automatic. Date neatly tucked away at 3 o'clock, really classical aesthetics, dress watch but still a bit sporty with the center seconds hand and date. I've tried this on a few times now. It wears really well. No complaints from me. A bit like NOMOS, Longines' entire catalog represents luxury at a good price. It's still a price that hurts, it still takes some saving, but the product you receive exceeds the price. There are 3 models that I would highlight. For one, the Conquest, the go anywhere, do anything look. It just looks like a watch, available in 38mm and 41mm. Perfect sizes, and retails for £2,000. For 2, the Record, it's a little bit dressier, great sizes once again, £2,200. It's kind of like the JLC Master Control, but if you're a bit more budget conscious. I also think the Record chronograph is under talked about. And 3, the Spirit Flyback chronograph, and the best value in this lineup is the all stainless steel 42mm. There is a lot of value to be found with Omega, especially going secondary. I was doing my usual cruise of Chrono 24 and noticed that the Aquaterras seem to be at unreasonably low prices. These aren't brand new or anything, but still pretty dang current to be going as low as this. If you are in the market for an Aquaterra, and if you want to save a bit of money, I highly recommend looking at Chrono 24 or a secondary site before buying new. And the last watch we're putting on here, the Patek Philippe weekly calendar, reference 5212 or 5212. This is another one where I recommend going secondary. Most Patek Philippe's trade below retail in the secondary market, but I've always had a weird soft spot for the 5212. It's a very un-Patek Patek. Only available in stainless steel. Very cool looking. Even though there's a lot of information being displayed, it is still balanced, and the font used is kinda weird. It won't be everyone's favorite Patek. It won't even be a Patek a lot of people like, and I get it. Oh, but I like this so much. It's kinda like the Grand Seiko GMT in being dressy but informal. Going secondary, you can pick these up for around £24,000, which is pretty good value for the brand. For reference, people are trying to sell the ladies Nautilus 7118 stainless steel for £40,000 secondary. All things considered, the weekly calendar is a lot of value for Patek. Anyways, guys, that is my list of watches that hold unexpected value. Once again, it's just my opinion, and I would love to know yours in those comments down below. Thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you for your viewership. And now, Pope Tier patrons. Get their names on the screen. Hello, Pope Tier patrons, old tier patrons, anyone who's made it to the end. Yes, thank you so much for watching my weird little video. I didn't film this part in the garage like I usually do, which is weird, but as you can probably tell, I was a very tired girl when I was filming this. Oh, the baby just hasn't been sleeping very well, but I love making these videos. It's great. I love talking watches, and the whole reason I get to do it for my job is because of you guys. Thank you for supporting my weird little channel. You guys keep the lights on here. You keep this channel going. So thank you so much. I hope you keep enjoying the channel and what we do here. And even if you don't, I hope you keep enjoying watches forever. They're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you guys.